Welcome to the Callisto Brand Big Change podcast. This is season 4, where we are focusing on women in credit. Today, my guest is Joanna Miler, Director of Finance Processes Order to Cash at Johnson Controls in Bratislava. Welcome, Joanna. It's a delight to be talking to you today.
Hello, Esther. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
So let's dive right into the conversation. Could you please tell me a little bit about your background?
Yes. So the credit and collection is the area I've been always working in. So I started to develop in collections just after the university. So my education is economy. So I finished technical university in Opole in Poland. And then I started to search for the job, and I came across this opportunity to work in a collections area. And I stayed in this area. So I developed directly from the moment I was calling customers asking for money. So from the very basic position to the level I am now. So I actually developed my career in different companies. So I didn't stay in one company for many years, but I was changing the companies in the course of time, extending first my geographical, let's say, area, and then also extending the scope for cash application, for billing, for customer master data, so acquiring the knowledge about the other areas of the O2C. So I was not always working in a big companies like Johnson's Controls, but majority of them was big. I had some actually experience also in the call center. That was after the crisis in 2018, when the company I was working for regretfully went into the trouble and was acquired by another company. So the entire team was released. That's life. So I started, let's say, from the beginning, because I was the manager, but after the crisis, that was more difficult to get managerial positions. Therefore, I returned at the age of 28. I returned to the hedge funds. So I was working in the bank and collecting from the physical persons. That was a really good experience. So I've learned a lot about the negotiations. So I believe that was the moment I developed the most my negotiation skills. So I really enjoyed that time, even though it was sometimes hard, because when you are collecting from the physical persons, you deal a lot with human feelings. So that can be exhausting. But yes, that's another experience. So, well, yes, I was always very ambitious. So I had my plan that I was sticking to. So, and I was very persistent. And yeah, I have this drive. I like to be good at what I doing. So here I am. Yes. So now finally, after 20 years in order to cash, I am in the place where I am, but I went through all the steps of the career. So I started from the calling customers, both companies and physical persons. I was issuing invoices. I was creating the customer's account. I was making the payments to the vendors as well. So I have my experience in accounts payable as well. So yes, So I know
Okay.
this area from scratch.
It's very good. It must feel good to be in that comfortable position to know everything. And was it a conscious decision to work in finance?
Well, yes, that was the conscious at some stage, of course, because sometimes this is we make the decision about our future at very early stage, let's say. So I had some other ideas as well. So. And I have also a different profession than finance. But I decided at some point to continue and develop and focus on finance, not on the other, let's say, part of my education that is totally different. From finance, but that was the conscious decision at some stage of my life. I believe that was more around the end of the university. So I was, let's say, developing simultaneously in two directions. One finance, another a little bit more, let's say, related to the art. But well, I decided finance. So frankly speaking, it's easier to make a career in finance than in, let's say, being an artist. So that's a conscious decision at some point. So I took an easy path. I believe.
That's good. And what is it that you enjoy most about this chosen path?
I really enjoy how you can see the effects of your work. So this job in credit collection, in order to cash in general, gives you almost instant effect of the action. So that gives also the satisfaction and the motivation to go further. So let's say, for example, simple thing. When actually for the credit position, you do the credit analysis, and then your decision is to not to allow the credit limit for the customer, and let's say like half a year later the company go bankrupt. So you know that you made a decision, right? Or you call the customer, you negotiate a repayment and customer pays, or you fix the customer payment behavior, and you see that after the negotiation, after the work with the customer, he's changing his behavior and you receive payments on time. So later on, when you become the manager, you get the larger scope, you change or improve the process, and you see how the past year is going on. So that's a very fulfilling and satisfying job. Another part, this is more on the managerial side, but I believe it applies to any area, not only order to cash, when you see how people are developing together with you. So when you work with the people, many times you see like the little stars, and you just need to help them to grow, and you see how they are like absorbing the knowledge like a sponge. It's so satisfying when you see them from like 1 month to another, how the knowledge is growing, how independent they become, how they are talking, how they are leading the meetings. That's amazing. And then you see they are growing. So even though, well, because I didn't stick to one company, even though I am always staying or trying to stay in touch with let's say my little stars, and this is such a pleasure to see how they are going in their lives, how they are developing their careers. So this is also very much satisfying and fulfilling situation. Yeah,
I believe so. It is a really good feeling to see your little ones grow. It's really nice.
exactly.
What would be your proudest professional achievement?
I believe I am pretty proud of where I am now. So that was my goal. So well, that's what I am proud of. In general, my job makes me proud from one day to another. When I am joining the company, I see the things I can improve and then start to work on it, changing the processes, removing waste, increasing the efficiency, implementing the robotic solutions, or working on AI projects, and then you see how past due is decreasing, how unapplied cash is decreasing, so how the customers' payment behaviors are changing, and how the people are developing around. That's a success. So this job is a constant success, frankly speaking. So if you only want to do the right things, this job gives you the constant success. So there is, of course, there are moments that well, you don't achieve what you want because of many constraints. So like, well, let's take the pandemic situation.
Yeah.
So probably we planned something. I had millions of plans. I have projects, and then suddenly it stops. But you just need to adjust and find yourself in a new situation and go further. Well, that's a constant satisfaction. Also, how you are overcoming the situations like this pandemic. How the companies are going through it, how we adjust to the new ways of working, like for example, remote working. So like 2 years ago, like 1 year and a half when the pandemic started. So I never imagined that it will be possible to manage like a big organization from home, and all the people and coordinate the workforce working from home. But actually, the current tool, the technology, allows to work equally efficiently, if not even better, from home. So, well, yes, that's also satisfying. Yes, and the success. And I was pretty. I must admit that I was pretty old-fashioned when it comes to working from home. So I didn't like it. I never did it myself, and I was very like not happy to accept this for my employees. And now I see it totally different. So the efficiency doesn't go down. So we proved, and the people proved that the job can be done also in this environment. So this is also the I am proud that with such a big organization, because that was like 350 people, we managed to work efficiently in this situation. And actually, we implemented even new systems in this pandemic time, and we did it online. So that was really satisfying. Yes. Yeah.
Anything is possible.
A lot of little successes. Everything is possible. Yeah, there is no limit.
Yes.
Even sky is not the limit. There is a saying, sky is the limit. No, sky is not the limit.
Obviously, you're very, very passionate about your job, and that's wonderful. How do you keep your work-life balance?
Well, that's an amazing question. So sometimes I don't keep. Well, yes. So it happens. It happens many times to me in my career that I didn't keep. So I had to work on it really hard to be able to keep it. So I am planning everything in my Outlook calendar. So even my private life is there. So I am securing the time. So I am putting the meetings in Outlook calendar for my private activities. Also to not to forget while I am working, because I have this let's say bad side of me, maybe not from the employer perspective, but when I am excited about something, I am forgetting about all the stuff, eating, drinking, my private life, and I am focusing on work. So that's really hard sometimes when you are passionate about what you are doing. But yes, my actually remediation action is to put my private life into Outlook calendar, so I can place all the work around the private situations, and thanks to that I managed to secure the time for myself. I need to do that, because otherwise, that's easy for the burnout, even if you like your job, so you can burn out at some point. So
absolutely. And this is also kind of a heads up to your teammates or your colleagues that you won't be able to speak at those times. So how can you keep yourself motivated?
Well, that's easy. In my case, it's easy to do that. So I believe I have like internal motivation, because I am not driven by the company I am working for. I am driven by my own goals. So I had very early my career plan. I decided what I want to do by when, and I am just going there. So that's the motivation. And actually, because I was kind of successful, let's say, so that's motivating me. Of course, I am sometimes I am failing, but I am trying again. So even the situation with the Johnson's control. So I was applying twice for this position, and the first time I failed. So, but I didn't give up. I took the feedback from after the interview, and I filled the gaps. And 1 year and a half year later, I noticed the position again, and I applied, and I got the position. So
you won.
Yes, I won it. so the most important in life is, I believe, to stay motivated, to place the target, and consequently go there. So get up in the morning. Every day is a new. Fix the mistakes from the previous day. Learn from the mistakes. Take the feedback. Work on it. And go. So the most important is take the feedback seriously. I believe. So this is not comfortable, of course. Especially constructive feedback. So especially for the people who are very much ambitious and putting a lot of effort into work or in anything. It applies not only to the work, but to everything. So the feedback, constructive feedback, is not a nice feeling, because we do not perceive ourselves in the same way as other people perceive us. So it's very important to take it seriously and swallow the pride, the tears sometimes as well, and work on it, fix it, and go. That's it. So I am very much self-motivated. I have the targets. I am going there. That's
wonderful. And how can you pass that on to your team? Do they have the same kind of drive that you have?
I believe not everyone has a different drive, because we have different values in our life, and different goals. So, well, I had a goal to become minimum the director in the international company. So that is my minimum. Of course, I have my father goals as well, and well, I am trying to invest the money, etc. So I have many plans for the future, and I am fulfilling them. But people may have different values. So people may want to have maybe not very much stressing job, and they want to come back to the family and enjoy the family, and just go. The people may treat the job just some, let's say, mean to get the funds to live. So not necessarily it can be like they have the same value. So not for everyone the job is crazy important. So that depends on the persons. Of course, we cannot have all the people who wants to become vice president or president of the United States, because there is not enough such a position, and we still need people who will be calling customers. We need people who will be issuing the invoices, etc. And this job is extremely important. So the people are motivated, but differently. So we need to understand, the managers need to understand what motivates people, and if the motivation is to ensure the regular income and enjoy the family, that's fine. That's fine. So we need to help those people to do the job they want to do well. So help them, support them, mentor, coach them, and provide the tools to do the job well. So the motivations are totally different, but we need all the kinds of people in organization. So not only managers and people who are thinking about how to be promoted. And, so yes, I have different people. So I have all the types. The organization is pretty large. So I have the people who are very much who are sharing my passion, let's say, about the order to cash, and I have people who want to do the job to ensure the income, as I said, and enjoy the family life. So, well, that's different. We are different, and the world needs all the types of people. So yeah, I am happy. I have all the types of people. It would be crazy difficult to have only people who wants to be promoted next month.
Nothing would ever get done. And at the end of the day, what is your kind of way of letting the steam out? How do you take time to relax?
Well, I am going to the gym, so that's not very original, but I am training CrossFit since a couple of years. So, well, it's actually the physical effort and a little bit of physical pain helps you to clear the mind totally and produce the endorphin. So I believe for me this is the best. So it's good for me to go there in the early morning to exercise in the early morning and like to go to the office or to open the laptop now while I am already like calm and in a good mental shape, because I managed to produce enough endorphins to work with the challenges of the day, because O2C is a very interesting area. So this is definitely not very much calm environment. The O2C is always on fire. There is always something to do. This is the front office, mainly front office functions. So the human interaction, always creates the tension. So O2C is very specific. We are discussing with sales, we are discussing with the customers, and there is conflict, but this is a good conflict. So I've heard once that if finance would lead the organization, then there was no sales. But opposite, if sales is leading the organization, there is no money. So we need that tension and this little fight. So to find the right middle to ensure that we grow the company and at the same time we secure the money. So that's good, but it's the area of tension. So we need this mental strength in order to cash. Yes.
And CrossFit is also very challenging on different levels. Is that correct? So achieving certain levels would be considered as a success for you as well?
I am not that crazy. So I am actually, my goal is to let's say produce endorphins and shape the body. So so that's just this. So I'm not that crazy about CrossFit to get the levels. So I am doing it more for myself. The levels I have. The target to achieve the levels at work. So let's leave CrossFit levels aside. So
absolutely. And throughout your career, was there any situation where you felt that a male colleague is trying to threaten you or make you feel underestimated?
No, no, there wasn't such a situation. Actually, I like working with the male colleagues. I believe there is more tension between the women on the certain positions. We are. I have sometimes an impression that we are more aggressive, at least at work, at some level. So, no. I never felt this way or threatened or underestimated. No. So I believe in the companies in the companies like Johnson's Controls or any other I was working for, there are certain standards of behavior required, and I believe that when the companies are recruiting people, that they also pay attention to what the person represents privately, not only professionally. So, I believe this is like the mutual respect, regardless of the gender or religion or whatever differences we have, is a minimum requirement to work in the international companies. So, no. I never faced that.
You mentioned that you're a strong believer in professional self-development. Would that reflect on your talent development strategy at work?
Well, so actually, talent development strategies is something that is, let's say, defined in the companies. So each company takes care about the talent development. Each company does that differently. So of course, there are the standards in each company I was working for, and so it is in Johnson's Controls. So in Johnson's Controls, this is very standardized. So we have really well developed so-called growth pyramid. So we exactly know what knowledge we need to acquire to get to the next level. So that's very well organized. Currently, I am going through with my team through the evaluation of the status of development, and the managers are working with the employees to assess their development needs, first of all, and help people to acquire the knowledge and the experience in the areas they are missing to step to the higher level. And also, yes, I am working on this with my boss. Aside from that one, there is also each manager, I believe, does it independently. So so this is standards, but there are people in every organization. I was mentioning that I had in each organization I had my diamonds, let's say, and I believe this is standard. So the managers spot the people who are more proactive, or sometimes not proactive, but in some situation you come across with the people and they are showing you their skills, and then you have a feeling that you need to take care of those people and develop them. So that's aside from the standard process. So and yes, in each and every organization, I am able to see the people who, with the help, can really develop. And yes, I have the people that I am developing in this organization, and I had in the past. So of course we need to. This is very important to understand the people development directions, and that all the companies have this talent development structures. At least the biggest, the big companies, the international organizations. So each of them had this program. But we shouldn't. I believe we shouldn't stick only to this. If we see there is a talent, we should support aside from the normal structures. That's what I think.
Do you feel empowered at your company?
Yeah, that's very interesting question. So because empowering is always understood as something that is given by someone, but from my perspective, feeling empowered is a state of mind rather than something that is given. Yes, I think we are all empowered. So we are able to speak. We have our thoughts. We have our ideas, and we should talk about that. And we should introduce the ideas and we should express our opinions in the organizations, and that's the feeling of being self-empowered. So we shouldn't wait until someone tell me, okay, Joanna, so starting tomorrow, you are introducing the ideas, or you are doing this and that. So no, if I see that something needs to be done, I am doing it. Or if I am not able to do it directly, I am trying to contact people who can help me to do it. So that's the attitude, being empowered. Yeah, state of mind and attitude. So yes, I am empowered, and I think everyone should think about being empowered in this way. This is not given. This is not given, and we should not wait until someone tells us to do something. We should do it.
Yeah, we should always feel free enough to speak our minds and share our ideas. It shouldn't necessarily need a nagging to share.
Exactly. Exactly. And even we shouldn't also feel bad if, for example, the ideas are rejected, or if someone disagrees with us. That's normal. Well, so we have a right to speak. We have a right to introduce our ideas, but we shouldn't feel bad if the idea is rejected. Maybe it's not a good moment. Maybe someone else has more information and knows that this will not work. So, well, I heard a lot of, let's say, concerns from people who tried to introduce the idea. Idea was rejected. Yeah, but this is good idea. I think that the management is doing wrong. But I ask, maybe did you think that the management or the people, like top management, may have more information than you, and in the perspective of this information, this idea is not good for this moment, because it may be the fact. So we don't have all the information. There are factors that we are not aware of. So we need to just acknowledge that. So maybe it's not good this time. Maybe it will be good in the half a year. I had such a situations million of times. I had the idea that was rejected by one manager. Then 3 months later, the same manager said, "Yeah, wait, maybe it's a good idea, so run the pilot." And then the manager changed and said, "Go ahead." So, well, it depends on the circumstances.
Yeah.
So, well, let's feel empowered.
Yeah. Does your company have a dedicated women's community?
Yes. So, well, Johnson's Controls has the dedicated women's community. There are the regular meetings. The ladies are sharing the experience, the concerns, if there are any. So I don't see any specific concerns in the current company. No concerns, not even specific, zero concerns when it comes to the women's rights. And well, I am happy that the ladies are supporting themselves. So sometimes maybe I think there is a lot of stereotypes of how about the women's rights. So I do not feel that my rights are somehow different, or I have no rights in some areas. I believe this is like a stereotype, and some ladies maybe are victims of the stereotype, and that blocks them. So that's why I am happy to share my experience and to tell them that well, there is nothing. Of course, we need to also be professional at work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the condition. So
Mm-hmm.
so we need to behave by ourselves professionally, and not to create uh, the difference. So we need to become equal partners.
Mm-hmm.
So like a professional partners.
Yeah.
I believe. So let's treat ourselves as a partners, not as a specifically, I am a woman, I am professional.
It shouldn't.
So it doesn't matter, I am a woman or I am a man, I am professional. So let's treat ourselves this way first.
Yes, I agree.
So then we can expect from the others to treat us as a professional. So it doesn't matter. The gender doesn't matter totally.
I agree. One of my final questions would be, what advice would you give to your 18-year-old self?
Yeah, I would give one good advice. The good advice for everyone, because we know that life is unpredictable. So always have a savings on your account. Mm-hmm. So I've learned it in a very hard way. So that was in 2018. So I was enjoying really a lot because I was 27, and I was the manager for credit collection for Poland. So I was doing pretty good money in the international company, and I was really enjoying my life. Let's say so. Yes. And then so I had zero savings. I had a mortgage, of course, because so I was very happy that I have good salary. So I took a mortgage for both a flat, and I was really enjoying buying stuff, clothes, etc. And no savings at all. And then the crisis came. I lost a job. And I was then forced to sell what I bought previously, so to be able to pay the mortgage. And before I recovered it, before I came to the same salary level, it took me more or less 3 years. Mm-hmm. So that's a good advice, always to have a savings, because you never know what will happen, like COVID situation. Yeah. So we should always have on our bank account the funds that will help us to survive at least 6 months minimum without any hassle. So we all have mortgages now. That's not.
Yeah. That's good advice.
So that the life is more relaxed then.
And my final question would be, what are your personal and professional hopes and dreams or goals for the next 5 years?
Actually, I started to develop myself in a slightly different direction. So this is very new. So after the talent assessment with my boss, so we decided that actually I need to certify myself with accounting skills. So that's the next step. So I was always O2C, not let's say I have the accounting knowledge, but I am not certified. Mm-hmm. So I decided to certify myself. So also like the company required to proceed for further steps to be certified accountant. So I need to close this gap. Mm-hmm. I hope to explore a little bit accounting area. So I never thought very much seriously about accounting, but let's say my boss inspired me a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it can be interesting. Let's see how I will find with my own, let's say, hyperactiveness, how I found myself in accounting, but it can be interesting. In the private life, I'm going to actually, I will continue investments. So I can actually enjoy my life like a wolf from Wall Street when I retire. Of course, joke. I have not that much money, but at least to enjoy my life when I will retire at some point. Well, yeah.
Well,
So
thank you very
yeah,
much.
thank you very much, Esther.
Thank you
That
for
was very good.
spending this hour with me, and I look forward to sharing it with the rest of the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Esther.
Have a great
day.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Take care.